What's going on, guys? It's Cal here. So now that all the kits have started to be shipped out, I thought I would make this quick video because I'm seeing a common question come up a few times. So I thought it's best that I make a video to sort of explain some things. That way I can send it all to you guys and you guys will know what's going on. So in the table in front of me, I've got the Prop Shop Kylo Ren. I've also got my standard kit as it like assembles and comes without any painting or weathering. And I've got the one that I installed after I put all the electronics in and everything. So the first question is people are saying when they get their kits, there's a bit of a rattle. Now inside the kits, there's a longer screw, which is for here. So as you can see, you've got that rattle. And the reason why a longer screw is included is so that after you've done your install, you use the longer screw and it presses. So that's just the blue wire shaking. You use the longer screw to press against the engine, which stops the rattle. So that longer screw, if you have a look here, if I take the screw out, after you've done your electronics, you cut that longer screw down to size, like I have, and it'll press against the engine. So you've got this rattle, and then you'll use the longer screw. You'll cut it down to the size that it needs to be. What I do is I just put the screw in, see how far I need to cut and mark it. So this is the screw that I cut to my engine. So, and now the rattle's gone. So that's what the longer screw is for. The longer screw, it presses against the engine after you've assembled the hilt, and that eliminates the rattle. So I'll put this back in here now. And the other question that I seem to get is that people are asking about the plating on the engines. Now, I should have been a bit more clear in my video, but the engines are molded. They're molded plastic in order to capture all the detail. You can't machine some of the detail that you see on the engine. It's actually just impossible to machine those sort of details without either 3D printing or molding. So for example, on the engines, you've got these small details that just can't be machined. But I was always going to have them unplated, just raw plastic, because people who are installing them need to paint them anyway. They all need to be painted and weathered. Now, some people are saying that they're seeing missing plating and they're asking for replacements, but you know, they don't actually need replacements because they all need painted anyway. So when people have them sent to their painters, these are all going to be painted and weathered, and they're all going to be done. This is the Prop Shop model, and you can see the Prop Shop model is just painted sort of a gun metallic sort of color. It's not shiny chrome like this. This is all painted, the Prop Shop model. So these parts all need painted, guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of show you how I paint mine, and that way if you want to give it a go yourselves, you can paint it, and it's fairly easy. So this is just one of my spare engines, and some people might notice that this part slopes. So on the engine, on the model, these are dead straight. Now what happens is when these are pulled from the mold, because they're hot, sometimes they might sink, but it's plastic anyway, so this is very easy to fix if you've got an issue like this. I've just got like one of my hot air guns, and what I do is I set the temperature just to a low temperature on my hot air gun. I set it to like just 150, something like that. If I just lower it down a bit, let's have a look. So I'm just setting my temperature. Okay, I've set that to 150 now. And what I do is I just use something that props it up, like so. So I can see that that's straight now. And I'll just use that, and I'll just heat this area really. I'll just give it a little bit of heat, and I'll let it cool. So let's make sure that this is sounding right. Yeah, I'll just use a little bit of heat on this area, only for a few seconds. There we go. So now you can see that it's relaxed the plastic a little bit, and I'll just hold it there till it cools. And what you'll find is, as the plastic's cooling, I'm blowing it as well, to cool it down a bit faster, you'll see that it won't. There we go. So now it's perfectly straight. The plastic has cooled, and you've got the straight edges. It's not very noticeable when you look at it from the front whether it's sloped or not, but if that's something that's happened to yours, it's a very simple fix, just to heat it slightly with about 125 to 150 Celsius hot air, if you've got a hot air gun or something like that, and yeah, you can get it perfectly straight. And if this is something that you might find difficult to do, you're more than welcome to send it to me, and I can do it for you. And you can see it just springs back into place. So now we'll get onto the painting. So guys, for this experiment, I'm just using, it's very simple, it's just Rust-Oleum metallic chrome brilliant finish. It's going to be weathered anyway, so I just want like a nice basis for the silver. So all I do is I'll put this on a toothpick. I just use the you can use the little hole that's here, like so. You can use it like that. I use a toothpick. I'll just take this outside, follow the instructions on the can, and I'll just spray a light layer over this. And once I've done that and sprayed it, I let it dry overnight, and then you will end up with something that just looks like this. So nice and silver, looks the part. So it's just a nice little silver base coat, will do the job nicely. So I've got that silver base coat, and then like I said, you want to let this dry for overnight. You don't want to paint it too quickly, and you can prime it before if you want to. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm saying I paint it with this Rust-Oleum metallic chrome. Most people, your painters or weathers, will use stuff like Alclad or some high quality airbrush paints, but this is just how I done it for mine. So I painted it with this, and I'll start to weather it. So with weathering, guys, there really is no sort of wrong way of doing it. I've just got some blue tissue roll here. I've got some black acrylic paints. I've got this little rust colour, because I noticed on the prop shop, you can see they've got they had a little bit of just rust on the edge there, so I thought I might capture something like that. And then I just get some fine paint brushes. Just got one here. And what I'll do is I'll just get a bit of the black paint, put a bit there. Don't need much, to be honest. I'll get some of my rag. I'll just crumple it up a little bit, and let's do some weathering. So I'm just gonna start by getting it in all of the areas. Let's have a look here. All over there. Like I said, there's no real wrong way of doing it. Get it in all of the crevices and creases. Put some on there. So this is just a black acrylic paint. And essentially what I'm going to be doing is just weathering it all with paint, and then we're going to start wiping it off. So I want to use this paintbrush to get into all the areas that there might have been dirt or grime, something like that. And you just want to coat the whole thing, get it everywhere. And we're going to go over it with the blue tissue. And guys, this is something, if maybe you can't afford to get yours painted by someone at the minute, this is a good way of you just messing around with the kit. After all, it is a kit, so you guys want to be having a mess around with it and doing something on the kit, as it is DIY, and you want to be keeping yourself busy during this lockdown. It's a perfect little job for you to do. Not too tricky, nice and simple. I'm guiding you all the way through it, so you don't have to worry. Just a little bit of paint, and yeah, we're just going to start wiping it really. So I zoom in a bit, just wiping it, get rid of some of that dirt that we've got on here. It's looking a bit grimy. Bit of dirt in there, so it's looking all as if it's been really an engine of some sort inside Kylo Ren's lightsaber. And then what I do like to do as well is I just like to blot it like this. Get it in there. One thing I like to do as well is I get the tissue and make a little, just something like this, and I just rub it into the paint. So that's just like a thin film, and I'll just dab it on there like that. Get a bit more paint. That really works nicely because it creates like an even film of dirt around it. Like I said, there's no wrong way of doing this. So it's looking all dirty now, which is exactly what we want. And when this is inside the lightsaber, it's going to look great. And like I said, you can do this with the lower engine as well. I'm just doing the upper engine here. So we've got some nice, just dirty weathering. Give it another bit of a wipe. And there we go. Got a nicely weathered engine. That paint will dry obviously as well. You can maybe go in there a little bit. We can wipe our brush if you want to get some more of the details out. If you want to just a little bit in there, spread that out a bit. You can just assess it. See, that looks pretty nice. Like that. Now, I've got a bit of this rust colour. Thought I'll put a little bit there. Maybe on some of the edges. I'll do my little tissue trick again. And I'll just look at it and just maybe a little bit there on the edge. Take some of that off. Like that. So there's a little rusty tinge. Maybe some other areas. Some high spots maybe. Obviously, you only see one face of the engine. Which is this face. You won't see that area. Let's wipe that away. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And then you can install that into the saber, let it dry overnight. You can then clear coat it as well if you want to. I don't think the clear coat is really necessary because you're not going to see you're not going to touch the engine because it's inside the cutout. But that is how we can just weather the engine. And I think it even looks a bit better than the prop shop one. Looks a bit nicer. But got that little rusty tinge on there. Nice and dirty. And then we can put it inside the lightsaber. And there we have it, guys. I've installed it into my sample Kylo, and you can just see it looks excellent. Nicely weathered engine, nice and grimy. I'm going to do the bottom engine first, next, because I'm obviously shiny chrome isn't what I'm after. I want this grimy chrome, and yeah, you can see it really looks stunning. Captured all those details and looks great in the cutout of the lightsaber. So hopefully this helps you guys. Sorry if it wasn't too clear about the painting of the engines in my guide videos, but it should make for a fun little project if you've got your kits and you know, only take some chrome paint and some black acrylics and just a bit of imagination, and you can weather your engine to look how you want. Thanks very much for watching. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Cheers, guys.